Amanda, do you think that, what did I even ask you? Oh, I asked you if you thought the president was doing a good job.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I do think he's doing a good job. I think that he gets so much backlash just because it's an easy target. It's just like the whole police going after black people thing.
Do you think he gets a lot of shit because he's black or because he's the president?
Both.
It's both, for sure.
Yeah, it's a little mix.
Yeah, George Bush got fucking shit, and he's a purebred.
Hey, I'm going to need you to do me a favor.
He didn't get as much.
I'm going to need you to do me a favor now that I saw this bill. I'm going to need you to pretend like you cut yourself on that chip plate right there. It's right there, that chip bite.
I know.
So we can get some of this shit for free.
I know, like I noticed it. I was like, oh, somebody chipped the plate.
Every restaurant I worked at, we would have thrown that plate away.
Yeah, no, I bet. But no, I think it's 50-50 because he's black and because he's president.
See, I don't agree with that. I think he gets shit because he's the president.
You tell her.
But, you know, I think people are more afraid to single him out because he's black.
No, I feel like it's
you think,
complete
did
opposite.
you say more afraid to single him out?
Yeah.
I feel like that is a complete opposite. It's easier, and like people like want to dig for stuff.
What I don't see. I've yet to see comments that single him out for being black.
What?
They even say he's not even from this world.
Because he's not. If you look at it,
He said because he's not.
he's not. He's as black as my son is.
Yeah.
He was raised by his white mother and white grandparents.
So what you're saying
He's
is that
half black.
So what you're saying is that your half black son is being raised by his white mother?
Okay, no, but I'm saying that he's not. I'm trying to iterate a
Well,
point
I
that
thought
he's
Dick
not
Rock was raised by his grandmother.
His white grandmother, right?
His white? No, that can't be.
No,
I thought it was his black grandmother.
I have no idea.
She's like, what are you looking at me for?
Yeah, I'm like, I
because you're
don't know.
black. You're supposed to know all
I know
this.
exactly.
No, but his
supposed to know
his
the
dad
other
was-
Black
his dad was
encyclopedia.
from Kenya.
Sure. And his brother still lives there.
Yeah.
If you could stop doing that, that'd be great. Just beating the microphone with a straw. That's fantastic. So, yeah, like I was saying.
Is this thing on?
Jesus Christ.
But no, I believe he was raised by his white grandparents and his white mother. But my point of saying that is that people want to say, well, it's because he's black. Well, no, he's not. He's not
just
black.
as much
He's
black
just as
as he
much
is
white
white.
as he is black.
Yeah.
You know,
It's just
he's
like-
not just one single culture that he comes from.
Nobody is that anymore.
You're right.
Yeah, no one's just one person.
I mean, even though both of your parents are black, you're probably not all black.
Yeah. Who knows?
I mean, you're probably not. I mean, just look at you.
Yeah. Because I'm.
It gets all quiet and uncomfortable.
Y'all have a blessed evening.
Thank you.
I'll see you next time, okay?
I appreciate it.
Alright.
Thank you.
Uh,
That one,
I used to love those.
Exploded.
that was
There's
premature.
no I love this. This pen exploded.
No, but in school I used
No,
to
you
like.
can't touch
me,
this. Oh, I have one
in
right
school I
now.
used to like to open them.
And would you like blow it out?
Yeah, on a piece of paper.
And it would drip
Because
like
it would
bubbles,
make this
right?
like art.
Yeah.
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 See? You know where it's at.
So
I didn't take the pen like that because you let it to me. It was just
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. We can just add that on the
Yes,
podcast
son of a
thing.
bitch.
you can
Add
also
that
stick
to
drugs
it.
in those pens.
Yeah, because what is it on the faculty?
Yeah.
Yeah, there
That's
we
what
go.
he was getting at.
But it's the cheap ones. It's not those
I can't
ones.
remember
It has
That's
to
that
be-
one. That's that one.
No, because that's a Bic, right?
it's a
It
Bic.
has to be the
Oh,
dollar store ones.
The one where it has like the ripples, like for the grip,
I think
right?
so,
It
yeah.
has the grip on it.
It's one of those because the top's really easy to pop off.
That was such a good movie. I know a guy that
Good
came
info.
out on here. I went to school with the guy who came out in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, his name's Eric Youngman.
Look at you.
She's all.
Look at you. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
since we're talking about the president,
Uh-huh.
I'll put it to both the youths. Do you think that racial tensions are worse now under a black president than they have been previously?
I think they're worse now. Period. Whether it doesn't
Probably
matter
has
what the
nothing to do
president
with it.
is. I don't think his color has anything to do with it. I think.
So you
Things
think
are
it's
being-
worse now, but not necessarily because
Yes,
we have a
I
black
think
president?
there's things being pushed by the media at large and whoever's pulling the strings for the media, because it seems as though the people who are in power want to federalize police force, because those were the rumblings to us at the department.
In these meetings that you don't have?
No, amongst officers. There were rumblings that they wanted to federalize police force.
And what does a federalized police force mean?
It means the United States government comes in and brings police with them, not necessarily from your city, not necessarily from your state, to police you in your civil rights. Like military, they bring military people in to different areas of the country, right? Well, that's, I imagine, how they would do it. Like the FBI or Homeland Security, they bring people in to enforce the laws.
So isn't that not bad? It's like the overseer.
It's not bad.
Did you say not bad?
Yeah, right?
Would you put it to you
Someone
this way?
policing.
Would you
Who's
rather
gonna police the police? That's not what we're saying.
No,
polices
no. This
the
is
police,
people
right?
policing you as a citizen.
They're not policing the police.
They're going to
They
come
would
in and
become a
take over the
police
job
state.
for the police.
And say, hey guys, these idiots don't know what they're doing. So now we're in charge. You gotta do what we say.
Well, there's not-
and you got a 6 o'clock bedtime.
Not necessarily these people
Which would
don't
be
know
great
what they're
for me.
doing. But not necessarily these people don't know what they're doing. But there's not enough of these people because there's an officer shortage going around in this country.
Well, I gotta be these people.
Because
Well,
people
I
are
could see
afraid
why,
to
like-
join because they don't want to die, and people are dying, and you have a lot of cities going after their police departments to take away bargained contracts from the Officers Association because they just want to be able to fire and hire who they want. But I'm gonna put it to you this: would you rather be policed by somebody who comes from your community, or somebody that's never met you before, never come from your community, has no idea what goes on in your community?
I think it's probably better just because
It's super interesting that you couched it that way because that's what everybody wants. The black community, the poor community, they just want people from their community to be policing them, and they're not.
Exactly. You've got these people rising up because they think they're not
Again,
being
these people. This motherfucker.
Yeah,
He's just
you
talking
have
about people in
a
general.
group of people rising up and causing mayhem because they feel like they're not being policed by people from their community.
Well, whose fault is that?
Theirs,
Whose?
the individual people themselves. You got to be the change
The
to make a
community?
change, right?
You sound like Gandhi. Be the change you want to see in the world?
Yeah. Yeah.
I got that from your brother.
You do have to be the change.
I have to. No.
If you want a change to happen in this world, it starts with the first person it starts with is you.
Steve Owens.
Yeah.
Y'all hear that?
Steve Cletus Owens.
Steven Cletus Owens. My middle name.
I seriously heard a banjo when you said Cletus.
God damn it. That's his whole point. Because he found out my middle initial was C, and he was like, "What's that stand for?" You know what?
should
Don't
add
tell me.
a banjo
It's probably
in there.
Cletus.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go with Cletus.
He would not tell me his middle name. He's just like, it's a C. I was like, Cletus.
Do you know it now?
I was like, my middle name is a C word. He was like,
He could have gone with something else.
It can either be a see you next Tuesday or Cletus.
See you.
next Tuesday. Same question, lady. God damn, what was the
Oh yeah, what
question?
was it?
Is that you? I hope that's you. That better be you, because that should be an air.
That was me.
Good, because that should be an airplane's. Oh, yeah. Do you think racial tensions are worse now under Barack Obama? Also, I want to know. Hold on. I want to know how come nobody says President Obama. When it was Bush, everybody said President Bush. Everybody
You know
said
why?
President Clinton.
Because
They
Barack
just-
Obama is a strong name,
I don't give
man.
a fuck. He's still the president.
Yeah, but
You call a doctor
George
a
Bush,
doctor.
you're gonna say George Bush every time. There are people that call him George Bush, but like,
Yeah, me. I fucking love that dude. That's my dog.
like
George Bush is your dog? Or the
Before?
original George Bush? Or George,
no, he
or
named
W?
his dog George Bush.
No. W.
W is your
W.
dog? W is your dog?
I saw that
Oh,
dude
yeah.
speak. I was in the same room as that dude. I saw him speak.
Shake his hand.
No. But
Steve
Oh,
was
you were
the
in
help.
Dallas for all the memorial?
no, but I was there when it happened. When the thing happened.
You
I
were
was
in
there.
Dallas?
Uh-huh. Well, I was in Plano. That's pretty fucking close. I was supposed to be in Dallas. I was supposed to be staying at my friend's house downtown, but I did not. We were there for a wedding.
Oh.
So I'm sorry, Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think racial tensions are worse right now?
I don't think it's worse because we have a black president. I don't think that at all.
But do you think it's worse? Comma. I mean, just like he said, your husband, Duke, he said it is worse, but he doesn't think it's because of.
Oh yeah, no, it's worse, but it's not because of him. Yeah, no.
All right, cool, cool. See how easy that was? She gave like a short 30-second answer.
But I got lots to say.
You talked on for 45 minutes.
That's what I want.
I told you when you asked me to do this interview, I've got a lot of stuff to say.
It's true. How many more times can he meet? What?
Off every Monday.
See?
Find a way down here.
As a police officer, do you think that, as a police officer, do you think that black people and white people act different as, this is going to sound really stupid, but as people? Like, do you think that there are different behaviors for black people and white people?
Well, they have different cultural behaviors, things they were raised
I just mean in general around you as a police officer. Does a black person act differently around you in your uniform than a white person does?
I want to say it's not necessarily the color of the person, it's what environment they were raised in, because you've got white people that dress like thugs. They act just as stupid, if not worse, than black people who are dressed as thugs. Because it's about bucking and resisting against authority. It's not necessarily their color.
What about you? I mean, I know you're not a cop, but do you
go out
think?
with him when he's in uniform?
Oh no, absolutely not. Oh, would you be
No,
seen with this
he
guy?
would- he would-
Hello.
I'm pretty sure he would pass out because he would think my life was in danger or something. But
See,
pass out.
just a day in her shoes, motherfucker. Just a day in her shoes.
Her tiny little toy shoes.
Yeah, it's just a day in her toy
yeah, that I
shoes.
can't fit. Yeah,
Aw.
I had to retire a pair of shoes today because I couldn't legit.
Oh,
fit
did you hang
to
him
my
up in the
feet.
rafters next to Duncan's jersey?
She took them off to
Seriously,
dry
I
and
feel
couldn't
like-
put them back on.
Yeah, yeah, it was horrible. But no. I guess. Well, how would you phrase the question for me? I
Well,
don't know.
for you, the way I would phrase it, I guess, is you grew up around black people, I hope, in predominantly black community. And then later, you
Moved.
went around a lot of white people.
Oh, well, see, that was actually before him because
Super
I moved.
duper-
Like,
right.
our family.
But you were around white people before
yeah,
this idiot.
Yeah. I literally.
Hilarious.
Well, I know I literally switched like cultures. Like whenever I was in high school, like I
Straight
moved
up.
into. Okay, I'm
Sorry, go ahead.
Like
Go
I
ahead.
keep losing my train of thought.
Right.
Okay, anyway, whenever I was in high school, I completely switched like environments. My parents got this gigantic house on the opposite side of where we lived, and I mean it was a predominantly white neighborhood just because it was extremely fancy houses. And so I went to a school district that was predominantly a white school district just because it was nothing but like farmland and like country. And I was one of like 5 black people in the entire school.
In the whole school?
In
Was
the
this
entire
I'm
school.
sorry, was this a
Entire
middle
high
school or high
High
school?
school.
Okay.
Were there any Mexicans there?
So, yeah, a couple. I mean, there are more Hispanic people than there were black people. Like,
seven.
let's just say like
So just saw a couple more.
20
Like
or,
two more.
there are no 20 or 30 in like the whole school, but then black people there's like 5. So anyway, I went from like those kind of, it wasn't
Was
exactly
this in
I guess, a
Canada
culture
or something? Where's all the black people in your school? Were they going to a
not
different
there.
school?
Yeah, they
Okay.
yeah. So anyway, whenever I switched high schools, like that was pretty much like a big culture shock. But anyway, what was the question again? Jesus.
Do black people and white people act differently around police?
Oh, around police.
Because you've been with
well,
both.
Because I mean, honestly, whenever I was in both of those like types of
Let me get
environments,
in on that.
it was kind of sort of the same. Just because like a lot of the kids that I was going to school with, like that was predominantly white, did the whole drug thing and alcohol thing on like the weekends and got in trouble just as much.
So
as
what I'm hearing is
the-
that it didn't matter whether they were black or white. You only hung out with criminals.
No, I wouldn't hang out with them. That honestly, that wasn't me. I was a good kid. Like that was completely opposite. It's just like it's high school. You hear about stuff. You hear about parties that happen on the weekend. I didn't go to those said parties just because I wasn't like a party kid. But anyway,
Nerd.
I'm saying like, yeah. So it's honestly
Because you
pretty
can't
much
go
the
to a
same.
party and watch Star Wars for the 47th
Yeah,
time.
no, you
You're a
can't.
Star Wars fan?
Oh,
I introduced you.
God.
Wars fan.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
they're nerds, dude.
Huge nerd.
Oof. Nerd.
I just
nerd,
liked it.
nerd,
She
nerd.
got into all the gear and everything.
Yeah, like Comic-Con like twice a
Like
year.
cosplay kind of thing?
Yeah.
She liked it, but I.
Well,
They
no,
actually
not
came to
cosplay,
San
but, like,
Antonio to go to the San Antonio Comic Con.
Yeah, like we take our son, like he dressed us up. Oh yeah, he's dressed up like every year to the,
Isn't that
to
crazy?
the one in San
The whole
Antonio.
family cosplays.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
no,
that's-
not cosplay, but
Uh,
well no, I only
I
dressed
don't
up
have-
twice.
I put on a shirt.
He puts on his uniform.
Like a-
and all.
Well, he's
Star Trek
cosplaying like he's
shirt.
not a police officer.
A Star Trek shirt or a
I think I only dressed
Star
up
Wars
twice.
shirt.
Yeah, only dressed up twice. But anyway, but no, to me it's pretty much the same, honestly. But like, I guess whenever I was in a predominantly like black neighborhood type thing, it was you just don't mess with police officers type thing.
In both communities?
No, in like the black community, you just don't. That's just not something that you do because like it meant trouble type thing.
Oh, yeah.
It was you were just asking for trouble if you were messing with the police. This was in the black
Predominantly, yeah,
the
black
predominantly black community. Not so much in the white community.
You didn't have to worry about it? You were just like,
Yeah, you shouldn't have to worry about it then, like there or then. Yeah.
Interesting. But it was discussed.
I mean, it wasn't
specifically,
discussed. It was just kind of
No,
like
no.
unsaid rules. You know what I mean? I guess. I don't know.
Because we
I
had
don't know
talked
how else
about
to
that
explain
probably like in the beginning, somewhere around the beginning of this podcast,
it. Uh-huh.
about people aren't respecting they're not respecting the how much the cops can fuck you up.
I guess it was like like I said, it's just one of those like unwritten rule type things. Like, I don't know. I don't know how else to explain it.
I think you explained it just fine.
Okay. Well, then we'll take that.
How about this one, Duke?
Oh.
Do the police act differently or treat differently black people versus white people?
No, not that I.
He just said no. Next. All the other questions were 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
He was like, nope, next.
Not that I've ever seen. I think it's more of your attitude toward an officer when he comes up into contact with you.
I'm not talking about an officer. I'm talking about as an officer. Let's say you get a call. It's, hey, there's a white guy touching his wiener in front of a middle school.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody except for
nobody
that
wants
one
that call. They're all, nah, you got it.
No,
Steve.
yeah, that's what I mean. Nobody wants that call.
You got it, Steve.
I'll cover you from the bushes.
Oh, okay. Wait, what the fuck are you doing?
Why are your pants down, Steve? No, I was just imitating.
That's him.
Yeah.
He said he'd cover you from
Okay,
the bushes.
all right. Well, okay. Let's be less ridiculous. You are responding to a call of a shifty-looking white person hanging out in front of a liquor store. Do you treat that call differently? Or do you approach that call differently than a shifty-looking black person hanging out in front of a liquor store?
No, because my thought when going to a call like that is this guy going to kill me or is he not going to kill me? That's how you approach it. Am I going to have to get into a gunfight? If not, let's figure out what's going on for
I
me.
just want to say for the record, not once at all in this 2 hours has he said, "Am I going to get into a taser fight?"
Why would I get into a taser fight?
But like,
Because
I
you
feel
have a
like criminals
taser.
don't have tasers.
Okay.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
Tasers don't work.
Mother bitches.
Listen, tasers don't work the way people think they are. They do. They don't shoot bolts of lightning out at you and paralyze you.
God, that'd be rad as shit, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. But
So you have the kind that shoots out the little
Probes.
tendrils,
Tongs.
right?
They're
And
probes.
they're connected with wires,
Uh-huh.
and then you put what, a bolt of lightning into some dude's nutsack? What are you doing?
50,000 volts,
Shit.
but it's only 1 amp.
1.21 gigawatts?
No, one amp is it's the amperage that will kill you. So it's 50,000 volts, but 1 amp.
So it is enough to kill you?
No, it's not enough to kill you.
God damn it.
Yeah, unless you have a heart condition and they hit you in your defibrillator
in your
or
old
something.
ticker that you got there.
In
But-
my what?
In your dicker.
So a taser has to be connected between 2 points. So it sends electricity through 1 point through your body to the other point.
So if you miss with one of the leads,
One
nothing
of them,
happens?
nothing
doing
happens.
okay?
Yes, ma'am.
We are doing fantastic.
All right, I just want to check on you. I
Now-
forgot about you back
Now,
here.
we're not your last table, right?
No,
All right, you're here all night, right? So we're not,
you're not making me stay.
is that your table?
Yep,
Okay, so if somebody came, they would sit there. We're not holding you up from getting new tables.
you're not.
We're not keeping you from turning the table, right?
Not doing
Okay.
anything over here.
All right, cool.
All right.
Just wanted to- oh, Jesus, this guy.
I'll
Did
get
you want
some
something?
Oh no, you're
Oh.
good. But
Oh
on
my
the
God,
same
you want another beer?
on that same note, I kind of think it's unfair to
What'd you
have.
say? What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Nothing, right?
Oh,
He's
sorry.
whispering sweet nothings in your ear, bro.
Oh my gosh. On the same note, I kind of think it's unfair to ask a police officer, "Oh, well, use something less lethal in just in case the person that's coming at you has something less lethal, like just in case." So that's the going into a what is it? Going into like a knife fight with what is it?
Taking a
spoon?
knife to a gunfight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a knife to a gunfight thing. So you're basically saying like, well, he might have something less lethal, so why don't you try your taser? But you know how long it's going to take you to transition from a taser to a gun if they do have a gun?
they right
I'd
next to
rather
each
be
No,
no,
they
they're on the
can't.
complete opposite sides, right?
In our city, it has to be a cross draw. You have to have a cross draw,
So
or
they're-
you have to draw with your offhand.
Okay, but
To
anyway,
get the taser?
what I'm saying is they're on two complete opposite sides. So that split second that you're guessing if they have something that's going to kill you or not, that second could be your life. That second could be you not coming home to your family.
So you would
you're-
rather
Mhm.
he went for the gun first?
Yeah, because they could possibly have that.
Sure, because that
So, 'cause
means
I feel like
he's
that'd
got a
be
better
an-
chance of coming home.
Yeah, because I feel like that'd be unfair for him to go into a situation with something less than what a criminal has. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense.
It does make sense. We've been going for a while, so I'm sure we need to wrap it up. But
Mm-hmm.
I just had just a couple quick questions. Why did you guys agree to do this interview?
Because if you don't say something when you're seeing things that are going wrong, then you're just as wrong letting it happen if you allow things to persist as the people are causing the change.
So you did this so that you could spread the word that there are other avenues
Yes.
and say something
And that whole FBI thing.
and
like,
don't be held down and all of that. Okay.
Yeah, don't be held down, but don't be violent against officers that are trying to help you.
Okay. What about you? Why'd you agree to this, Amanda?
Because I feel like everybody's trying to make me pick a side on which side I should be on.
Well,
like
who's everybody?
okay, like
Because I
society.
certainly
society.
don't want to. I don't.
No, not you. I'm saying
Steve's like,
God,
no,
I thought
like
you had to
everybody, as in Steve. No, like people, like society. Is
where you
trying to
grew
make
up or
me-
where you are now? That's
No,
where
like the United States. Let's just say that it's trying to make me feel like I have to pick sides because I'm married to a police officer that's white, and then I'm also black. So I kind of feel like that those two can mend together, you know. And
Do you think it
That's
would
like
be
a
different if you're
perfect
married to a
example.
black police officer?
yes, I think it would be different because we already have people against us anyway, just because we are an interracial couple. So like adding into the mix that he's a cop like just makes it so much worse.
But does it make it easier that he's not a good cop?
I mean, if you define good cop, like bad cop, as in not taking out the trash and stuff, like I guess.
That's a bad husband.
Yeah.
Come on, Duke.
Duke.
No,
But no,
okay, so-
but I wanted to do it just because I felt like somebody needs to be some type of voice of that can't happen. Like you
well,
can't.
no one
have
ever
a-
gets that side either.
Yeah, no, because nobody cares about that side. But it happens, you know. Like I am in a lot of like police wife like groups and stuff, and there are in most cases tons of interracial relationship, like with a white husband, like black wife, and vice versa.
Really?
And yeah. There's tons of that happening, but like when do you have a voice? Like when do they get a voice? Never. So nobody really cares. So,
Do they have something to say?
I honestly don't know. Well, I mean, yeah, I do. So I guess, but as for them, I have no idea. So, because it's hard being a police officer's wife in general, but being a police officer's wife,
You're a
whenever
general?
you're married to
It's
like
hard to be a police officer's wife and a general.
in general. But whenever you're in some type of
Like
like
the little general, Avery Johnson.
base, like people hated him anyway just because he was a cop, and like now
Your husband?
yeah, and now people hate him even more because he's white. Like, so it's I feel like it's double whammy on this guy.
Well, but that sounds like it's good news on the racial front because they hated him first because he was a cop.
Yeah, but now it's even worse. Like it's exponentially worse.
So
Are you wearing your bulletproof vest right now? But
So-
you wear it the entire time
work,
you're at work,
yeah.
right?
It goes under my uniform shirt. It's pretty hard to take off.
Let me ask you this.
Why would you ask me anything?
Let me ask you this. When there is something that happens on the news in your town involving an officer and or a shooting of any kind,
I have to
are
send
there
out
people-
bulletins to
Yeah.
all my family?
is that what you do? You send out text messages and say, hey, this wasn't me, or that
Yeah,
you're going to hear
you're
something.
gonna
You
see
might
it,
not hear
yeah.
anything if it wasn't a black person, but hey, that wasn't me.
No, the city I live in is pretty good about reporting all type of officer incidents. But yeah,
you do
I
send that out?
send out my barrage.
It's like this
of-
mass text, hey, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does it happen so
wasn't
often
me.
you just have to just click, like copy and paste? Yeah,
It's
again.
a good idea.
not
I
me,
should
not
add it
me.
to my.
Do you have like
add
a
it to
whole
my
special
quick sketch.
mailing list? Hey, not me.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
I feel like I'm
Okay.
starting to have to do that on Facebook.
So like people like you interact, like you pull people over and stuff like that. Are you in traffic?
I stopped pulling people over. There's a couple reasons. First, the state that I live in, they started going back, I want to say about 5 years ago, and adding on extra taxes to people who've gotten tickets. And sometimes they can be the same amount, a surcharge, where you'll get charged from the city for your speeding tickets, $350. So let's say you don't take a plea, you just pay it outright. And then the state will
Not
come
me.
in.
If you listen to the podcast, you know I fight these motherfuckers. Every chance I will drive to Houston
It's a
to fight these
$120
motherfuckers.
ticket. He'll
Yeah, so you get charged, you pay it. A couple years later, up to 2 years later, they
What?
have a max of 2 years later, because any misdemeanor, you can charge somebody for 2 years. You have the right to charge them. So the state comes back and adds a surcharge to it that can be about the same amount for that ticket. And I
What
think
the
that's
fuck are you talking about? I've never heard of this, and I get
Yeah.
tickets all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what?
Hey, maybe because you fight it, the state doesn't do anything about it. But there's been cases where
Yeah, they better
There
know
have
I'll
been-
fight that shit too.
there have been cases where I pull people over who don't have a license, and it's like 8 to 10 surcharges that they've lost their license for.
So you're looking at their
The city can charge you a certain
right,
amount.
but I mean, like, so you know that because you pull somebody over and then you pull them up,
Well, I
and then
also
it
saw-
says these are all the reasons they lost their shit.
Yeah, on your license it tells you everything that's like you've gotten tickets for, or if you've been in accidents and stuff. But
Do you swipe it like a credit card?
there are some cars that have that. I'm not sure it works because I've never used it.
Okay.
But,
Have you ever heard of this, Alex?
No.
But there was a
Did you look
last
it up before
week
you
tonight,
came over here? Or?
No. Last
Okay,
week,
okay.
No, I wouldn't do that. Last week tonight with John Oliver did a special on it.
That dude's great.
Did he mention?
pretty-
Did he mention Texas?
Yes, he did. And he talked about
Now,
how
is
they
this
can go
like
back-
one of those things that nobody knows and that's never used? Like in Texas, cattle rustling is still a hanging offense. Like some
No,
bullshit
because
like that?
I've pulled people over, and I told them, "Hey, you know your license is suspended," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, it says you owe the state some sort of money." They're like, "I paid all my tickets. What are you talking about?" So they lost their license from a surcharge that came in after they paid their ticket and were done.
So
Let
do
me-
they notify you?
They send it to the last known address. So if you haven't updated your address on your ID,
Is it your
I
last
still-
name
I
address
still-
or the address from when you got the ticket?
I still live in North Carolina.
that's a good question. It may be. It may be the last address that was on your ticket.
So then, do those turn into warrants?
No, but you can
Okay.
lose your license.
Oh, I don't care about that.
Yeah, but you get, and then you get a ticket because you got pulled over because you don't have a license,
And then they
take
tow your car.
Yeah,
They
but
tow your car 'cause
I know
can't
you
drive.
now, so
No, that
no,
doesn't
that
matter.
doesn't work that way.
I've tried that.
Don't ever drop my name if you're in my
I've
city.
tried that.
You don't know Duke Nukem? Come on, please.
I did that once. I got an extra ticket.
Like, I wish that worked for me. I've gotten a ticket before when we were married.
That's part of the reason I
Seriously?
don't pull people over, because the state can go and charge you like $1,000 for a speeding ticket. Is absurd unless you're doing like 20 miles over.
It's still absurd there, my friend. Now, if you would have said 100, I'm with you. But 20 miles, that's
But
still
no,
ridiculous. $1,000. I don't know how much you make in your
Anything
city.
in excess of
but
25
$1,000
miles over the speed limit
is an arrestable offense.
Is reckless driving. Yeah.
25 miles an hour?
Over. Yeah.
Over.
Well, I
the
mean,
speed
think about
limit.
it. Wherever you
Yeah, if you're
think
doing
about it.
60, if you're doing in a 65, you're
You're
doing
doing
25.
85 miles an hour, you're going to jail.
Over. You're probably what?
Dang it.
Well, that's
That's like that's
that's
what I
going
drive
35
on the highway.
to Dallas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? The 35,
Yes.
35 northeast. What is it?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
That's
I just
spur.
got one. I got that.
Is that
spur,
where the
yeah.
farm
Did
is
you say
at?
spurt?
The spur. It has a little 35
No.
spur.
Are you talking about? You're
That-
talking about
the
that?
business, 35
no,
business
You're talking
route.
about
Yeah, where it goes 35 east, like it's going to
east,
Fort
west,
Worth.
and
Yeah.
north, south, or whatever
And
the
if
fuck
you
that
do
weird thing
and
does.
if you do the one, I'm sorry, if you do the one going west, that's the one that has
That's
like
the Fort Worth, right?
Yeah, there's like a farm that's all it is farmland. There's people that are going like 100 miles an hour, and I just go, oh, I gotta keep up with traffic.
Well, the
Exactly. See, that's not my motto. Like, whenever I'm not driving with him, that's what I do. Like, I drive
just
so
whatever.
you're gonna be the lemming diving off the cliff.
Well, no, like I drive whatever the,
No, I
the
don't drive
roads
off
will
the
let
No,
me drive.
he's that guy where
He'll drive off
where
the
I don't
cliff.
have to outrun the bear. I just have to outrun you.
Yeah, that's me.
That's
Yeah, like
it.
if everybody else is going 80, then I'm going 80 because I'm not going to be the slowest one there.
I don't
you know
want
what I mean? If
in
like
my eyes, I don't want to cause an accident.
I want to be in the middle, so the
Exactly,
police
you're
officer
gonna
pulls
be-
the person behind me over.
Exactly. That's
yeah,
exactly the point.
If you're going 100 miles an hour, just like the guy next to you, don't stop. That guy
Yeah.
will stop.
exactly.
Yeah, 'cause
It's
I
like
know my.
And if he
my,
won't stop,
my hardest
shoot out his tires, and then he'll stop.
We
like
can't
I have
shoot
a
at
I have a
that.
normal colored car.
That'd be fucked up if
That's
you did
that's
that.
only DPS, but they have to have the ability to use deadly force.
They have to have a reasonable.
Yeah,
Well,
they,
they have to
have to
have-
be able to have shot the person to shoot out the tires.
Or they also have to know who's driving around. Right? That's not the whole blind. Well, that's the blind thing.
Okay,
You can't
last
just
question,
shoot
because I know
Oh, yeah.
everybody
blind
needs
lane
to
to a
go.
fucking vehicle.
Guys, everybody's got crybabies they need to get home to. I don't have any kids. at
Don't be
home.
a hater. I mean,
I'm just loving my empty nest. Is all I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it is. It's bedtime.
Come on, you don't want to throw him on your back like Yoda?
My son.
No,
He's like
my son.
6'3".
You'd be riding on his back like Yoda.
Yeah, it's like he's actually taller than all of us.
Well, there you go. You're the advanced age. You're balding like Yoda.
Advanced age.
yeah, like you're advancing at a more miraculous.
What
You're
rate?
advancing at a
Six.
quicker rate than he is.
Like
You're closer to death than he is.
It's like you balded since you've been here. It's pretty cool. It's like a science project.
Anyway, what was your last question?
Last question.
Can we not fucking do this again?
Is there anything that you guys want to say that we didn't cover? Is there anything you want to get off your chest, or any opinion you want to get out that we didn't bring up?
I'll finish making that point that I was earlier. He asked if I did pull people over for speeding.
Hell yeah.
The other reason I don't pull people over is
You can grab everything
May I
except for
get
this
that beer
stuff.
glass?
yeah.
Just for
you
the
so
bartender.
much.
Hey, that's
My
fine.
pleasure.
Thank you.
You are wonderful.
It was a pleasure
Have a great
taking
night.
care of you. You were actually well mannered.
that's impressive for him,
There's
actually.
microphones. I was on my desk.
It's
being-
impressive
I
for
can't
him.
have evidence.
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say all that they said about you.
Yeah,
I work all my magic
It was
in,
awful.
under the cover of darkness.
Okay, okay. Well, we
can't.
caught you at a good time tonight.
You got
Yes.
lucky. You got lucky.
Y'all have a good one, okay?
Thank you.
God
Thank you.
bless.
But the other reason I don't pull people over is because it's not worth the risk pulling someone over to give them a ticket as opposed to me not going home at night.
Right. So
Too many people are ready to kill officers for pulling them over, and I don't want to be that statistic. I want to come home to my kids.
So then
You want to be able to send that text message to everybody and say
Yes.
that wasn't me.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so then you don't know how. That's what I was gonna ask. If like how the public's treating you. You know what I mean? Since all the shit.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a traffic stop. The public doesn't really. I ran into a person that was.
Or even if
I
you
hope
just,
you got in trouble for
No,
an
so
accident.
I went to cover somebody who's a missing 17-year-old. They had caught him and they were bringing him home, and he was sitting in the car, and he's like, I'm just going to run away again. So they were going to go take him somewhere, but he got out of the car, well handcuffed, and ran. So
Was he handcuffed behind his back?
behind his back.
He didn't run very well, did he?
No, he ran. He was fast.
Track star.
So the
So,
female
just-
officer pulled up and stopped him. They called him, and he's in the back of their car hitting his head. Right? We have cameras back there, but we have a duty to keep them from harming themselves. So they called another officer out to come help him, and it was me. And my partner that I was hanging with the night met me up there because he had somewhere else he was at before there. And the female officer's trying to get this guy to stop, but she's not big enough to pull this kid out of the car because the kid is the size of his son, 6 foot tall. So I pull him out, and as soon as his
my
feet...
son is going to hear this, and he's going to be super offended that you said he was only 6 feet tall.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you say 6'3"? He's somewhere like he's 6'2"
Okay.
or 6'3". That's that big
Well,
kid.
Anyway, so
Good job, Blaine.
as soon as this kid's feet hit the ground, he starts running. While I'm like, there's 3 of us
While
here.
you're there?
Yeah. There's 3 of us standing
And
around
you looked
him.
down
And
at your stomach and said, "I'm not chasing this motherfucker."
No, I just immediately reached out and
No.
grabbed his handcuffs.
Oh, did you
Twisted
pull his
him.
shit out of his
No,
socket?
I twisted him, and it hurt my hand more than it hurt him. He
And then you got all scared.
He was just hopped up on adrenaline, and then my partner, that slowed him up for my partner to grab him.
So you said partner
Yeah, the guy I run with most of the time.
in separate cars.
Separate cars.
Okay.
So he grabbed him, and we all went to the ground, and we got him contained. And he just kept yelling obscenities. I don't like police. They're killing my people. I don't
Just-
like police.
They're killing my people.
Yeah, he was a black kid. He's like, the police are killing my people. I
Was
like,
this
"Never
recently?
killed anybody." Yes. It was within the last week, yes.
Within the last week. Did
Yeah.
you know about this? Yeah. They were going to be separate interviews, but sorry.
Well, no, like I mean, there's a lot of things that like he doesn't tell me. Like I think
Well, stuff
something
just
that
doesn't need to
happened.
know, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, something that happened that I found out about via Facebook, and it was right whenever he got to work.
I'm sorry. So
And,
you put stuff on Facebook?
I don't
No,
put
no,
anything
no, no.
on
It came,
Facebook.
Not you.
It was
Okay.
a news station that I follow on Facebook.
Okay.
And I was just scrolling through my news feed when I was going to bed, and I was like, wait, what happened? And it was
And they named Duke,
no,
or
they
it was a
didn't.
picture of Duke?
No. It was just an incident that had happened. An incident that had happened, and in our city.
And
that
he
works
hadn't
for,
sent that
and
text yet
he
that said it
didn't
wasn't
say
me?
anything. So I called him, and I was like, "Hey, are you okay? Like, what happened?" And he's like, "Well, what are you talking about?"
Oh,
and he tried
shit.
to act like nothing happened because he didn't want it to be.
So
I
did
guess,
you not
worrisome
know
for
about
me.
this event?
I don't
or-
No, he
know
did.
what event she's talking about.
Uh-oh.
So, oh, yeah. No,
But anyway.
she had called me just as it happened, and like
I was
I
like-
was signing in to go to work, and it really hadn't.
No,
gotten
it was like it
time
was
to
one of those
stop and
things
talk to
where
her.
because you texted me afterward and you're like, well, I just didn't want you to worry about it because he kind of thought that I wasn't gonna know about it
Oh,
until
that's
like
right,
after he
yeah, I
came
did.
home. You know, but I'm like, no, I knew about it like it's pretty much as soon as it happened because it's all over Facebook on these news pages.
But it didn't
So,
happen at an hour where she usually goes to bed. So.
Anyway.
you thought you were in the clear.
So
To be honest, I
this
thought it was
is the typical married conundrum here.
Anyway, what I'm trying to say
This
is
is, I thought I
things
could
that-
get away with not telling her just yet. And this is, motherfucker, you tell me right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I'd rather, I don't know. I'd rather kind of hear it from him just so I can know he's okay. Because whenever all this stuff happened in Dallas, like, I made him text me or call me or something just so I knew, like, throughout the night so I knew he was okay. So that was one of the hardest things to do is to find out about the whole Dallas thing as he's literally walking out the door, as our son's crying, saying, "No, Daddy, don't leave me." And then
What time
I'm
do you go to
hearing
work?
about this thing about
I
that
usually
happened in
leave
Dallas.
around 9.
Yeah, that kid should be in bed.
Okay, but he likes to see his daddy
It's
to work.
summertime.
Well, no, he likes to see him off to work. But
I
anyway,
am. You don't. You just fall asleep.
Yeah.
but anyway, I had to have him like call me or text me or something just so I could know like throughout the night that he was okay, because that was a pretty interesting pretty interesting night. But anyway, like when stuff like that happens, I would want to know, or I would want to like just a text say, "Hey, I'm fine. Hey, it wasn't me," just so I
you'd
can
rather
wake up
be
to that.
woken up by a text that says it wasn't
Yeah.
me, and then go back to sleep.
Yeah, because whenever he calls me, whenever he's on his way to work, I immediately I don't even say hello. I say, "Are you okay?" And that has been my response every time he has called me for like the past 6 years that he's been a police officer. Anytime that he calls me between 10 or 9:30 to 6 something in the morning, I ask, "Are you okay?" Because I don't want it to be a hello instance or "Hey, can you hear me?" or whatever, and then his last words or something. I want to know whether or not he's okay. It's got to be a yes or a no.
Well, I promise I'll never call if I'm dying.
Okay,
Or
but
dead.
Hear the
Or
last,
dead.
Or dead.
Okay,
Just
but
hit voice memo.
sadly
Just
enough,
record
I
a
would
message
want
on
you
your
to
phone.
be
It's like, that's not helping
I
you.
would want to be the last person that you talk to or something, so I can at least know.
But at the same time, because I had gotten into a car accident and it totaled the car, but nobody was injured.
In the car you were in?
Yeah.
I believe at the very beginning we talked about your horrible driving in a police car. So
But it
this
wasn't
time-
my fault.
Yeah,
I
it
was
wasn't
running.
your fault.
I was running
No,
lights and
it's-
sirens.
Hey Alex, it wasn't his fault.
Listen, I was running lights and
believe
sirens
him.
to help a police officer, and in the state of Texas, when a lights and sirens police officer, you have a duty to
You have to
yield.
move, bitch, get out the way.
You have to yield right away to the police officer. Yes,
And not
move,
back
get
up.
out the way. So I'm behind a lady and I'm alternating my siren.
How do you know
so
it's
she
a lady?
can see me because it wound up being a lady.
So you were
Because she hit me.
You were alternating your audio siren so she could see you
No, so she could. Yeah, so she went, "Oh, what?" and looked behind her.
and stopped.
And got out of the way. So I'm in a residential area and she gets over, so I say, "Oh, okay, she's moving out of the way." So I speed up and right about here she turns her left turn signal on. So I say, "There's no way I'm getting out of being hit. This is gonna be bad. What can I do to avoid making it bad?" So I moved over to the curb and she turned into me. It tore up the tire.
How old was this lady?
She was in her 20s. Yeah.
I
She
can't believe you
was
called her a
driving-
lady.
She was turning into her driveway. Is her excuse, and she didn't hear me.
Well, I want to thank you guys very much for your time. I appreciate it. I know that y'all didn't have to come here on your vacation, but I'm glad that you did. I wish you safe travels back to Who Gives a Shitville, Texas.
Best place ever.
Well, call us for more interviews. We'll get more vacations.
Yeah, dude. More vacations.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneak up on your police wives club.
Oh yeah.
Thank you guys
that's a
so
whole nother-
much.
that's
It's all
Another
digital, so
podcast.
it'll be easier.
Holler. Oh, and if y'all get a chance, there's a black country music singer named Coffey Anderson, Coffey Anderson, and he put on YouTube basically a how-to video for getting pulled over by the police.
I watched it.
It has over 30 million views. I watched it earlier.
Yeah.
You should really check it out.
Yeah, he did a really good job at explaining
He
it.
did a really good job, and then after that, he ended up talking to the
Or you could watch the
president.
funnier Chris Rock's How to Not Get Beat Up.
But no, I think that one was on Facebook.
I'm pretty sure it was on Facebook. It was really informative. It was a pretty good job.